So, hey, Justin, can you tell me about yourself?
My name is Justin Blanchard. I'm a senior in chemical engineering here at LSU. And I've had a lot of internship experience both in the field and with design. I'm just looking for a job that'll, help me utilize both of those experiences.
Okay. So, what skills separate you from our other candidates here?
Because I've had both, in the field and design experience, I think that's one of my biggest strong suits. LSU has done a great job of getting me prepared to do Aspen work, and most of the time I do Aspen work in all my group projects and everything. But most of my jobs have helped me to, utilize my hands more, and I'm working with things and taking them apart, and I think that would make me a really good candidate.
Okay. Okay. So, what were your responsibilities at your last employer?
So my last employer was a water treatment company. So we were in a refinery on site at a plant here in Louisiana. And what I would do is I'd go around each day and take water samples from all our cooling towers and all our heat exchangers, and just test the water quality to kind of determine if there's anything in the water, anything happening with the equipment, corrosion, bacteria growth, and make recommendations and determinations of what kind of chemicals we needed to feed from that.
Okay. So, following off of that, what leadership roles have you taken on, if any?
Kind of separate from my engineering experience, I've worked the past 4 years at the Cook Hotel here on campus. And during that time, I've stepped up and become a team leader um, at the front desk. And so what that means is any new hires I train, I do continuing training with, current hires. I make schedules and just kind of get out information that needs to get out to all of our team members.
Okay. So, what would you say is your greatest achievement?
I'm one of 13 kids, so it's hard for my parents to be able to put all of us through school. So I think a big thing for me is just, having put myself through school, working this entire time. I've worked 40, 50, 60-hour weeks my entire time in college. And, I'm almost at the finish line. And that really just feels like a great feeling.
Okay. So, can you tell me about a time you dealt with adversity at work?
So one time, so here at the Cook Hotel, during football, we're really, really busy, especially on game days. And one time I was working, um, and we work 8-hour shifts. At the end of our 8-hour shifts, we have two people come in and help replace us. But at the end of my shift, one of our guys didn't show up. So I had to, work that extra shift just straight through the day, super busy all day, jam packed, no stops, no breaks. And that was one of the hardest, like, days of work that I've ever had. They ended up showing up, halfway through the shift, um, but we had a rush in front of us, so I couldn't even like deal with it at the time. I was the team lead at that time too, so it was kind of frustrating to have to work with somebody, but like you have priorities in your face and you need to deal with those first. So I kind of just got rid of the customers, or not got rid of them, but worked with them, helped them deal with whatever they needed to be dealt with. And when it slowed down, I took them aside and let them know, that's not okay. It wasn't just about you; it was about me. I had to be here as well. Other people had to stay a little bit later too, just to pick up that work. And I think that's a good example.
Okay. So, how do you plan on achieving your career in this industry?
So right now, I'm just looking for any entry level role, whether that's a field engineer or a process engineer or a production engineer somewhere. I want to be, out in the trenches working on equipment, working with a lot of different kind of people, and just experiencing as much as I can right now to, get my foot in the door.
Okay. Can you tell me about any recent projects that you've worked on?
Sure. So I just finished my senior design class last fall. That was a group project with five of us, and what our task was to build out a phenol production plant. So you bring in one type of chemical and you have to process it down to this other type of chemical plus whatever like shoot offs and waste that you produce, and you have to figure out what to do with that to try to maximize your money. So for that project, we kind of split up the work. Me and one other guy, we were working on the Aspen part of it. So just designing the plant, what can go where are we going to put our chemistry at, and what kind of equipment are we going to use to achieve that, and how can we make that process, optimized to be economically feasible.
Okay. Where do you see your career progressing to in 5 years?
Hopefully, I'll be a senior level engineer getting ready to maybe leverage that experience into a leadership role. with a company. I'd like to get an MBA, so I'm hoping that a company sees potential in me and can help me with that. And once I get that MBA, I'd love to work as a, maybe a manager of engineers or something like that.
Okay. So to speak further on that, what would your dream job entail?
I think end goal, I'd really like to be in some type of upper management, whether that's management for, just a large plant, like a plant manager, or if I'm in a smaller company working as the manager of just overall production for the company, that'd be, I think, my dream job.
Okay. So thank you so much for meeting me in this interview today. I'll be sure to contact you at some point here in the future. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.